This video is going to be a review and a reminder of some very important topics that we've covered in the past. As always, remember, if you have any questions, please communicate with your managers. We're going to start with Child Checkmate. Remember the 3 W's: when, who, and where.
The child safety check is to be performed after every final student drop-off for each school in the morning and/or afternoon route using the following steps. Pull over to a designated safe place or while still in the school parking area, room permitting, after last child has exited the vehicle. Place the vehicle in park and secure. Proceed to the back of the vehicle, checking each seat and floor for the children or left articles. Return to the front of the vehicle, continuing to check each seat and floor area for children. Radio base immediately for assistance before moving the vehicle if you discover a child.
33 to Thomason Base.
Go ahead.
I'm at Black Rock Elementary and I found a sleeping student on my bus. Can you radio them and let them know?
Okay, I'll call the school.
Thank you, copy.
After the safety check, you may continue on to your next route or return to the yard to secure the vehicle. The vehicle alarm is not deactivated during the safety check. The child checkmate procedure is done prior to exiting the vehicle after each completed AM, midday, PM, or late run. The kindergarten elementary runs are especially important because younger children tend to fall asleep. When you return to the yard or prior to exiting the vehicle, place the vehicle in park or neutral, secure and turn off the vehicle. Turn off SOS master switch. Proceed to the back of the vehicle, checking each seat and floor area for children and left articles. Deactivate the child check system on the vehicle. You should hear beeping noise and interior lights should flash. Return to the front of the vehicle, continuing to check each seat and floor area for children. Radio base immediately for assistance if a child is found in the vehicle before the final exit of the vehicle. Remove the key and continue with your post-trip inspection of the vehicle.
Now we're going to look at student drop-off. Remember that there's some important things that you need to remember about this student drop-off. Who should be authorized to take the students at the stops? Know your routes and your drop-off locations. And again, if you have any issues, please communicate with your managers. So we'd like to start with first, when you're given your route sheet. Every time you're given a route sheet, you should take a few minutes and review that route sheet. You should know where each of your schools are located and how to get to them. You should also know where you're exactly going to pick those students up at each school. You should also be familiar with who belongs on your bus. If a student tries to get on your bus without a note, you should not allow them to do that. While you're still at the schools, you should communicate with base, and we can contact the schools for you. If a student hands you a note, make sure that it's signed by the appropriate office staff or the principal of the school. Make sure to also use the LLLC. Look ahead, look around, leave room, and communicate. We should be looking ahead at our stops and notice if there's any hazardous conditions near the stop where we are going to be dropping off those students. Some of the possible hazards that we should be looking for are strangers that are lurking around near those stops. Anybody that's not usually there, we should take note of. Are there any stray animals roaming? Is there police activity, fire activity? Anything that could prevent us from stopping at that location or make it unsafe for us to stop there. We should also make note of any seasonal conditions at that stop. Is there a big puddle where we're going to be dropping off the students? How about snowbanks or ice? Again, when in doubt of any situation, we should be communicating with base and let them tell us how to approach that stop or stop there safely. I'd like to talk to you about now one of the most important parts of our student drop-off. It's knowing your policy for your location on what students can get off the bus without a parent and which ones we need to see a parent or an authorized adult for. It's very important that you go over this information with your managers prior to you driving your routes. You need to know what parents or what guardians we need to see. It's different for every location, so again, the best way to know is to ask your manager. If you get to your stop and you don't see an authorized person there for that child, then you shouldn't be letting them off the bus. Next, we're going to look at backing. The most important thing about backing is communicate with base. When in doubt, don't. We should not be backing our vehicles without assistance for anything that's out of the ordinary. Please know how to back safely on your routes and in your bus yards.
As you go through the following steps, always remember to continually scan the area around your bus and use your mirrors. When you have determined the area is safe around your bus, you first need to activate your hazard lights. Request that your passengers remain silent and shut off all noise-producing equipment. Open your driver's window. Blow your horn twice and listen for any response. Once you have completed these steps, and only after you have completed these steps, place your bus in reverse, back slowly, and you should only back as far as you need to. Sometimes, as with an unplanned backing maneuver, you should always radio dispatch first to inform them of the backing situation. Drivers should thoroughly plan out their backing maneuver in advance, surveying the entire area around the bus before they begin their backing maneuver.
Finally, we're going to look at cell phone use and cell phone policy. The most important thing to remember about cell phones is they need to be off. Whenever that bus is in operation, the key's in the ignition and you're in the seat, your cell phone should be turned off. Please put your phones away.
Your cell phone should only be used at work when you're on break. Never drive on company property with your cell phone in hand. There's absolutely no cell phone usage allowed while driving a company vehicle. Your phone should be turned off and put away anytime you're behind the wheel of a company vehicle.
I hope that all of the points that we reviewed in this video you take to heart and follow all of our policies and procedures as they're written. And again, most importantly, if you have any questions about anything that you've seen in this video or any concerns, please talk to your managers. Thank you.